You know, as much as we want to talk about how 2025 was a bit of a struggle year at the box office, and it was, although it did show signs of turning around, good for it. 2026 looks great. Despite that, a number of films were able to come out and just smash expectations, including films like Lilo and Stitch did much better. Minecraft, I think, did much better than anybody expected that it would. But right at the top of them is the number one film of the year, and now the number one animated film of all time. As according to Deadline, Zootopia 2 beat Inside Out to become the highest grossing animated movie with now $1.7 billion worldwide. That's, I mean, it's not going to get anywhere close to it, but I mean, that's getting within view of the $2 billion club.
Unbelievable.
The $2 billion club. To put this all into perspective for you, here are the highest grossing animated films of all time. Zootopia now with 1.7 billion, which just passed Inside Out 2 that came close to 1.7 billion. The CGI animated Lion King from, I think, 2019 at 1.66 billion. Frozen 2 at 1.45 billion. And the Super Mario Brothers movie at 1.36 billion. Now, if you were to just look at these animated numbers, you would think, what box office slump? Even in the midst of weaker box office, these family films are able to, let me throw out Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer got close to $800 million. 135 million just in the North American box. So animated films, family films have still found a way to be extremely strong and do extremely well, and good for them for being able to do that. Now let me just address the elephant in the room before I get 55 people writing in comments about it. But John, what about Ne Zha 2? Didn't you see that China told us it made $75 zillion? Didn't you see that, John? Look, many of you have heard me say this before, but I will say it again, and this is only my opinion. And you have the right you can feel any way you want about this. The reason that certain outlets and places like myself do not count Ne Zha 2 is because China is the only movie market in the world. There might be one or two others, but I think it's the only one. I could be wrong about it being the only one, but I'm pretty sure. Anyway, China is the only market on the planet that does not submit its raw box office data for confirmation, clarification, and vetting to vet for authenticity and all that kind of stuff. They don't do that. They just report their numbers, and everybody's just got to accept it. Every other market gets checked and double checked and vetted by third parties for authenticity. China does not. And so when a movie like Ne Zha 2, which by the way, you know how much money it made in North America? 20 million. When they come out and say it made $2-something billion, when no other market on the planet that actually reports its vetted numbers. Sure. I was just mentioning Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, which is closing in on 800 million. Foreign animated film in another language, all that kind of stuff. Ne Zha 2 made 20 in the North American market. You know how much Demon Slayer did? I think I just said it. Like about 135 million, like 7 to 8 times more than Ne Zha 2. And when you look down its international distribution, more people everywhere in the world went to go see Demon Slayer than went to go see Ne Zha 2. So I do not now, nor have I ever, because some people have asked me about some Chinese movies in the past. I do not trust China, which does not submit its numbers for authenticity, China reporting box office numbers for Chinese movies that are completely and wildly inconsistent with its box office totals at every other market in the world.
Yeah.
So look, I say all that just to say why I do not include Ne Zha 2, because I think it's fraud. That's my opinion. I think it's fraud. If you think otherwise, good on you. That now out of the way, getting back to actually authenticated box office results. Congratulations to Zootopia 2. I always said it was going to be big, but I also said I didn't think it would be this big. So congratulations to it. Rob, you're looking at this list of movies now, particularly in a year that the box office overall struggles. records getting smashed, including this one from Zootopia. What's your takeaway from this?
Well, I mean, I love this franchise, and I think that everybody else does too. And I was one of these people saying, this is not. I mean, this amount of money was unexpected, but I thought it was going to make $1 billion. I was always saying that, and I think that it deserves it. You know, this is one of the most appealing looking animated franchises. I like the characters. I like everything about these movies, and I bought the first Zootopia, and I will buy this one. You know, and I think that. It's just they're great movies. You know, they're really, really good movies. And I think they do what great animation does. They appeal to kids and adults. You can go, both audience, you can take your kids, you can go, and everybody gets something out of it. And I think, and it's kind of a weird thing to say, but there's kind of a purity in them in the sense that, you know, animated movies should be timeless, I think. And if you watch them in 100 years, you should be able to still get something out of them. And I feel that there's sort of this animated purity. And a lot of the Disney classic animation, I would say that about. Like, you're going to be able to watch Disney animated, the classic animation forever. Pinocchio, Snow White. I think Zootopia, even though it's got a lot of, you know, modern jokes and things, I think that they will endure time. I wouldn't be surprised if 1,000 years people are still watching these movies.
You know, I gotta say too, they do a pretty damn good job with their sequels. I mean, I get it. People roll their eyes and when they announce a Pixar sequel, oh, why are they doing a sequel? Well, because Inside Out 2 was brilliant and made almost $1.7 billion.
And Frozen 2.
And Frozen 2. And now we got Frozen 3 coming out. I mean, that's Disney animation rather than Pixar, but still they're under the same umbrella. Zootopia 2, now $1.7 billion. They do a pretty good job with their sequels. Got to say. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Zootopia 2 has just become the highest grossing animated film of all time in an era and in a context when box office has generally been struggling. What do you think about that? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.